Yeah, Broadway is back.
Finally. It's been way too long.
Yeah.
I have an idea. Let's catch a musical.
Babe, that's an awesome idea.
How about this one?
Now that one's got a great cast, but the music, I wasn't feeling it.
How about that one?
Now that one's got an amazing choreographer, awesome spectacle, but I don't know, the music just didn't do it for me.
I got it. Rock of Ages.
Now that's a great show, but that lead guy, not so much. You know what? I got a great idea.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome on a beautiful, wet Tuesday afternoon here in South Florida. But I gotta tell you something. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. Because up north, it's
snowing.
42 degrees and getting colder.
Getting colder by the day. It is fall. A little bit of fall in the
My sister
air.
goes, gotta turn on the steam.
Excuse me?
That's the radiator,
Oh.
the steam.
Why is it called fall? I think it should be called autumn. Because at least autumn leads you to a color, right? Fall just means fall.
Obviously, you have never lived in an icicle New York City or something like that.
I fall.
I fell one time down a driveway. It was winter and it was frozen. It was frozen rain down the driveway, and I had a bag and a raincoat. I was on a business call to sell insurance, and I fell, and I slid to the bottom of the runway of that driveway. You know what was at the bottom? Frozen water, black dirty water.
How wet were you?
I was soaked. I was so mad. I just pulled all my stuff. I went in my leaky suitcase into the car. I threw it in the back seat. I went like this. I got in the car. I called the guy. I says, you know what? Buy it from somebody.
That happened to me. We were once in Pennsylvania, and I wore my little shoes like I wear, wiped out on the leaves. Got back up in front of a bar, wiped back up and down and up and down. Hence, I know why it's called fall. No one ever said leaves were slippery.
Leaves smell too. You ever notice when you put them all together and they're outside?
They smell bad, really?
They smell.
The ones that change color, yeah,
Oh, but
They
they
have
should
like
be
a-
so beautiful.
Well, they are beautiful.
on the tree, but once they fall down, they're dead.
They're dead. I just noticed that I'm dressed for summer here, and everyone else, we've got fall decorating, we've got Lady Ashley party planning in the house with Big John, and we're turning the studio into
No, let's get this right. Lady
Autumn.
Ashley is walking and putting stuff everywhere.
Big John hanging out.
Big John is like a big palooka over there. And he's just like, honey, look at the time. He's like making all these remarks that drive her nuts.
It's just like Mr. Big. Did you guys ever see Sex in the City?
Yes,
Remember Mr. Big?
Yeah, how can you forget?
Is that what people call you all the time?
I've gotten that quite a few times.
Oh my gosh, because you sound like him too. You kind of look like him too.
I get, what's his real name?
Chris Noth.
Yeah, Chris, but I also get the Eminem guy, Patrick Wahlberg.
The peanut guy or the almond guy?
Patrick Wahlberg.
Yeah, Patrick Wahlberg. I get him a lot. Burton, sorry.
Walt Burton. Thank you, Miss Ashley.
And what I tell you, she's on it. And
She's
you know,
the
I was going to
boss.
ask you, do you want to do some voiceovers for me?
Sure, whatever you want, bro.
I need a male voice. I need you to, can you speak
I can
deeply?
do a female voice too.
Not that high or lower. The
I
other
can go
one.
way low, bro.
That's what it is. There you go.
How do you like that whole setup over there? It looks beautiful. You know, they were here for Halloween, and we got the beautiful benefit of the balloons for the day. And then we thought, Thanksgiving, let's celebrate for the whole month.
Wait a minute. Hold on. This is for
The month.
The month. Okay. I want to know what you're going to do Friday when you have to change this set upside down.
I do not know.
We're going to have to move it ever so slow. You're going to have to do it Thursday night to move it slowly.
Ever so slowly. Well, it depends who we have. You know, Wayne has his seat. Eileen has her seat.
No, that's Friday afternoon.
Friday.
But when Kenny Love comes in here.
We'll worry about that Friday afternoon.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the table and then move it
Okay.
in front of the beautiful new pieces we got.
We've
going
got
on.
some great. Did you guys see the new pieces we have from artist Steven
Those
Worm?
are absolutely stunning.
Aren't these stunning? They were on our set yesterday. Steven Zwirn, Z-W-I-R-N. The pictures do not do it justice. You have to come in person to see them, to see the decor we've got going. It's a whole new autumn, kind of reset the stage. You and your guys worked really, really hard this morning.
We had to move everything
I have
around.
to tell you, thank you. It was Vlad and Slick and JP and you directing everyone. Amazing.
I wasn't directing, I was praying. Praying they didn't fall. Now, the nice thing about what's going on here is that we're moving pieces around to make room for this spectacular stuff. And I ended up with more room than I thought I was going to for his pieces.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
So I may be moving stuff a little bit more. I may be bringing from studio, bringing some stuff in here, unless he brings me more. But everything is for sale. Now, I have to get these stick-ons, whatever that's called, that tells people
The
I'm
prices?
for sale
Oh, I'm for sale.
with the prices. Because everybody tells me, you got a beautiful museum. It's not a museum.
It's a mini gallery.
And what the hell is a mini gallery? Does anybody know?
Well, everything is for. You do? You don't?
Yeah, I have a mini gallery when I go out to paint.
It's a mini panty gallery.
You got a mini panty gallery? You know, I still have. We should show that. Who's on the board?
Josh, JP.
JP, I'm gonna send you a little email. No, because Big John wants to see it.
Oh yeah, I was
We
just
have the
saying that.
panty cam.
The panty
The panty,
cam.
the panty what?
Panty cam.
The camera, panty cam.
You had panties on last time I was here when you was on.
That was
radio-
Friday,
on-
the panty cam, yes. He
Oh,
has
you
not
saw
been
the
back since
picture.
then.
Did he see the? Did you see the panty cam pictures?
I don't think no one needs to see it.
Agreed, 100%.
I don't need nightmares, thank you.
But I have to tell you guys, it looks amazing. Talk about the energy and moving art around. We've
We're
got
not done yet.
this whole, look at all the balloons up there, though. That first
Every
balloon
time you come to Brooklyn
garland,
Cafe, it's always fresh and beautiful,
always
You know,
fresh.
it's
including
funny.
Miss Dawn.
I didn't know you guys were even coming. Nobody tells me nothing. I didn't know you were coming today.
Did you read your text?
I read that she said she was coming, and I said, "Oh, I guess she's coming today."
Yes.
And then,
I've been on it.
I know you don't tell me nothing.
It's a girl thing. That's what the girls do. We
Freddie,
plan.
I didn't know
we
I was
do.
coming either, so don't worry.
You guys do the
You didn't know
heavy
either?
lifting.
No,
I only
you
found-
knew.
I only found out today.
The heavy lifting. But you guys have been having a lot of great meetings.
Oh, yes.
And they are ready and able to bring your holiday ideas and parties to fruition, which is going to be so exciting for the holiday season. Thanksgiving, and you got Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, a whole lot of great stuff. 2022. Can you even believe that?
I don't want to believe that.
That's just amazing. Somehow I lost 2021. I just
I don't
can't
want to
we're
believe it.
going
I'm
to
not happy.
2022.
Don't talk to me about the new year. I'm not happy.
We're not. We're going into Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know. I look around. The set is freaking unbelievable. That table, you transform that table. We're gonna have to go buy another table. I
Where
got
are you
about
gonna put all the
5.
food?
I got 5 restaurants that want to come in, one for the next 5 weeks.
All
How
right,
you
so we'll
gonna
have
do
to open up another table is what we'll have to do.
that? We don't have another table.
And we'll figure it
We
out.
could bring you a table from our house if you need a table.
Yeah, if you need one, we'll get you. You don't
And I'll trade you the step stool for it.
We'll
We
figure it
already
out.
have this step
Absolutely.
stool.
I think we've got Shane Farnsworth coming in today, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about what he does, personal injury attorney.
You know, I've known Shane Farnsworth for about 2 years. I was looking up the archives with Ask the Experts. And he's done a Comcast commercial with us, so we asked him to come on and let's talk a little bit about what he does and how he does it. And we have his commercial to play. So
You
we
are
got some-
covered in glitter, and it is not from anyone here in the studio.
I am covered in glitter. It's
Yes.
from his works.
I know, I think it's from Gina's. You've got silver glitter all over your face. It looks nice, though.
Anybody got a dollar?
You and Franny.
Come here, baby. I got $1 for you.
How'd you like Franny's a whole segment there yesterday?
It's funny. I went home. It was a restaurant up in something Gardens. What is it called?
Palm Beach Gardens?
Palm Beach Gardens. There was an event there. She was there. I'm looking up the film because I filmed it. And I'm going to prove to you that I met Franny.
I'm sure you did. Franny Sheridan, her story
You
is
can't
just
remember, forget her.
compelling. It was such a great day yesterday, right? Everyone was getting to meet everybody, and it was just so synergistic.
What?
Like synergies, everything just aligned between the art and Franny and Rochelle.
Synergistic?
Yes.
Using
It was
the
really
big words again on me today.
No, not really. I've been doing a whole lot of things, sending out proposals, sending out Comcast maps, sending out zone
You're like
maps,
an encyclopedia.
fighting with Bank America.
You know, I look, stop laughing. I look at the Heights and they speaking mambo language. Un poquito English, un poquito Spanish. And
It's
you're
just like
throwing,
listening
you're
to
throwing
you.
soliloquies at me.
You know the funny thing about In the Heights? Did you guys see In the Heights? Did you see the movie?
I loved it. I've seen it twice. It is fantastic.
I saw it 4 times on Saturday.
I didn't understand it.
Amazing.
On
You
HBO.
didn't understand it.
It is amazing.
Big John didn't
What do you
understand
even
it.
understand it?
Because it's Spanglish.
It's amazing.
True that. do that.
But watching the movie reminds me of
It
you.
was a very good movie. It reminded me of West Side Story, but like a remix.
Now we are
West Side Story.
renting Movies of Del Rey. We're gonna rent the movie theater for the West Side Story Bash, and I want you guys to come because we want to dress it
We'll
up,
definitely be there for you.
and we're gonna be the Sharks and the Jets.
I'm a Jet, since I'm a Jets
One
fan.
side would be the Jet, and the other side would be the Sharks. I gotta be Shark because I'm a Latino, and growing
What
up,
were the Jets, Italian?
yeah, and growing
One-third
up,
Italian.
I wanted to be a Jet, and my brother smacked me. He says, "You can't be a Jet, you dummy. You're Latino. You gotta be with the Sharks."
But you're kind of both. Can't you pick and choose?
It's a gang versus gang.
Yeah, but you're Italian and Puerto Rican.
No. Dawn,
like
second
this
place
one
doesn't get a
super-
trophy. No, it doesn't work that way.
What do you mean? So which one
Because
are
you
you
believe
first?
everybody should get a trophy.
Yes. So what are you first? Italian?
That is so wrong.
Or he thinks it's wrong too.
No, if you come in first place, you get the trophy. You come in second, third, fourth, fifth, go home.
If you come in second, it's like coming in last. Didn't the guy with the car say that?
They only talk about the person that won. They don't
That's
talk
right.
about the person that came in second.
That's right. You don't care who won. You
Yeah, but
win.
not everyone wins in life. Sometimes it's just.
This ain't life. This is gangs.
Sometimes it's that's different too.
You never been in a gang.
No.
In a gang or a gang?
In a gang.
Gang, no.
And when
I
you
have
get
not.
beat up, trust you me, you know what losing's like. Trust you me.
See, I just don't understand all that violence. I told you, I'm back to cleansing my heart and living with the fairies. How
Listen,
did you
that
know
was
this
a
even
long-
matched my outfit today?
That was actually, I gotta
Matches
give
perfectly.
JP.
Was that done on purpose? Totally perfect.
JP says we got to do the blue, and he tells me blue, the holidays, Christmas. He's doing this whole ensemble around you.
Thank you very much, JP, as it should be.
Not me. I just got something that was on the side that.
Well,
whoop.
you always match because this is like your basic for costumes, and then you can go any which way. It's like basic black. You can dress it up. You could. I bet Big John might have a suit for you, by the way.
Yeah, two of me fit in one of his suits. What's the matter with you? She's pimping me out to people. Do you got a suit so Freddie can put one on?
When I came here with my Halloween mask on, I had one of my suits. It would have been like you would have looked like Willy Wonka in the
How
Chocolate
was your
Factory.
Halloween, guys?
Fabulous.
Where'd you spend it? What'd you do?
With you guys.
We were here for you.
Yeah,
we
but
here with
didn't you
and
do
then
Real
anything
we
at
went
night?
home. And then I had a problem with my buddy's friend's mom, so we had to run over there for a little bit. But no, we had zero trick-or-treaters, zero.
So what'd you do with all the candy?
Ate it.
We're bringing it here Friday.
So let me tell you what happened with my candy situation. My neighbor told me there's so many kids, you need 5 big bags of candy. So Target and I did 4 big bags of candy. I put them out in the cauldron, right? Put it outside, little by little, and I thought it's all coming in. We've got this Ring doorbell. So Chuck loves watching. It's like being on Edline and, and it's creeping out on people. 2 boys come up. They don't ring the bell, and they're looking around for the cameras. This is totally like a video, right? And they go up and they leave. They take the candy, they go up and leave. Next thing you know, the entire cauldron, whoop, in one of their bags. And they look around, they look at their buddy who's on the step, and they run. Took all the candy.
And you didn't go out?
No, but they should enjoy it. It's part of being a little boy. Isn't that like part of the rite of passage on Halloween? It's being a boy. What can I get away with? Can I steal all the candy?
Hold on a second.
If I can get away with it, that's what it is. You
Right?
gotta
If
be
I
able
can
to
get
do it.
away with it. So like
Well,
now
you're
we have
7 foot tall. You're gonna get away with it no matter
But I
what.
feel
What's
like-
anybody gonna tell you? Put the candy back. Hey, you up there. Yeah, you gotta put that candy back. It ain't gonna happen. What's the matter with you?
But I felt like if
Wait
I
a
went
minute.
out there, I would ruin their whole story
Time
for
out.
their
Ti-
life of I was
time out.
caught versus when I was a little boy, I would go around the neighborhood and steal all the candy.
First of all, let me tell you something. How old were these little boys?
Maybe 10, 11,
30.
Maybe 13, 15?
maybe 13.
You're
Maybe
feeding
13.
into the juvenile delinquency of the planet. Let me tell you, when I was growing up, they didn't put no candy outside. The hell is that?
What do?
You knock on the door, and if you don't open the door, you get a sock full of flour. Boom, on your
Really?
door. What are you kidding me? You leave candy outside?
No, but you want to see their costumes, definitely. You want them
I did, but
She's got a
when
ring.
But
She's
I
got a
wanted to
ring,
work
so
out,
she can
so
see
it
the
was kind of like a
costumes.
trade-off. Do I work out or do I stand at the doorbell and working out
We
one
used
hour?
to get dressed up like vampires or guys with like guns, scary.
Mobsters.
And monsters.
Frankenstein.
And then the girls
Batman.
come by all sweet. Oh, can I have some more candy again? Like they would make the loop twice.
I say no.
The guys just steal the entire cauldron of the candy.
What are you running a candle mafia thing here? You open the door and you scream, "Hurrah!" And they go, oh! And you get, and whoever screams the most gets the most candy.
And where were you on Halloween? At the movies.
I went to the movie.
Did you give out any candy?
I went to see Dune.
Ooh, Dune.
I'm gonna tell you, if you're gonna go see this movie,
Nah,
walk
don't
10
say-
miles a day to get your buttocks in place.
Why?
Because it's 2.5 hours long.
Oh.
And there ain't enough buttock foam to stop the pain.
That was Halloween. Don't you feel though it was like I really thought this through of if I go out there and say something, it will ruin their childhood memories of Halloween.
Yes.
So I didn't.
That's what you're supposed to do.
No, let them have their childhood memories. So when these boys grow up
What? Stealing candy is
and
not
their
a how?
fathers and they tell their kids, when I was your age,
I used to
would
steal
go around the
candy."
neighborhood and I would take all of the candy. It's kind of like a rite of passage, don't you think?
Yeah. And it's
So
like I go to Sing Sing in prison, and they tell me the story how I started my career as a
But
thief,
on Halloween,
stealing
it's not
candy.
really stealing. If I put it out, that means take. So it's not stealing.
Dawn.
It's partaking in the holiday.
Dawn,
Don't you think
they
so?
should not steal.
They
Thou
didn't. I
should-
left it outside.
They come on your property and they take your candy out of your cauldron. That's stealing.
Really?
This is what I tell you. She believes everybody should get a trophy. So why the hell did we play?
Get a trophy for participation. Not.
Exactly.
Not.
Ashley.
No.
Should everyone get a trophy?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
I had a when I was a kid, I had to play.
Ready with John.
When I was a kid, I had to play with kids 2-3 years older than me because the parents complained I was too big to play with the kids my own age. So I used to get my butt kicked, but that's how I learned, and that's how you learn. And then you become number one, you get a trophy. You don't get a trophy just for showing up. Sorry.
Did people tease you for being like the tallest kid?
Yeah, but far away.
I was going to say, otherwise you would just go boom, clunk.
You see,
right?
I used to be smart. The tallest, the meanest, the biggest, I used to hang out with that
Make
guy.
friends, right?
Make a friend. I said, listen, you want my lunch money? No problem. Because nobody messed with me.
I was going to say, they would steal your lunch money?
I would protect
I
you,
would give
Freddie.
it. I used to hang out with the DeWitt Clinton football team.
Your stories break my heart when you were a little boy.
And I
You
sat.
gave them your lunch money?
Yeah.
That means you did not eat lunch,
That's
little
okay.
boy?
Psst, They took care of me. That lunch money went a long way.
That's so
It
sad.
did
'Cause
look like he
anything they
missed a
did,
meal.
I got a piece of.
Wow.
So I'm at the football table, you know, where the football players sit. And it's funny because, yeah, no, well, these are the players. And I'm saying, there's 20,000 tables in here and they're all taken, but except these 6. So I sat there and I was a freshman, and people were walking by and they're saying, this guy's crazy. What's wrong with this guy? And they're making these remarks. I'm just having my lunch. The next thing I go like this, and there are guys that make you look like Shorty. And I said, yes, guys? He says, do you know where you're sitting? I said, no. He says, this is the football table. And they took my lunch and threw it away and hit me over the head with a can.
Wow.
After that, they were my best friends.
Wow, that is just,
They were my best friends. After that, I got tickets to the game. I got anything I wanted with these guys because I didn't cry, not one drop. I just stood there and took the hit. And they said, this guy's all right. Preziosa was the coach.
And you didn't complain. So
And not at all.
you didn't rat him out. So,
Not
yeah.
I was so petrified I couldn't talk.
wow, what stories? Not me.
Look who's in the house.
Ah, Mr. Farnsworth is in the house. That's awesome. All right, let's take a commercial break.
Did you ever play sports?
I was a cheerleader.
That's not a
You
sport.
want to see my? That's a sport.
That's a sport.
Yes.
That's one of the best.
I
Hey,
can't
look.
say I played it well,
Look,
but
I'm playing
I
a
was
sport.
a cheerleader.
I'm playing a sport.
The best sport to watch.
If it's
Have
in the
you
Olympics,
seen
it's a sport.
Some of the
Cheerleading
cheerleaders
is
that
not
on
a
top
sport.
of the mountains. That's like,
The pyramid.
Yeah.
I cannot be a cheerleader. I flip my hat because you got to be nuts. That's worse than football. These in football got equipment.
cheerleader, you just hope nobody drops you. But
who's
talk
at the
about
bottom?
talent. Someone to catch you. The anchors, he says.
Were you at the top or the bottom?
Oh, I never did that kind of cheerleading.
What kind of cheerleader were you?
You know, on the ground, football, pom-poms. I was like 8.
Slick was a cheerleader yesterday.
I know.
I mean,
Give me a good college cheerleader.
You like being a cheerleader?
No. Like one girl tested me to try out for like not try out, but basically go out to one of their conditionings while I was on track. And yeah, cheerleading is a sport.
Wait, that's right. You were a track star, right?
Yeah,
Were you
so
fast?
I was a distance runner.
You were distance
Yeah,
runner?
so I went cross country, then I went 800 meter,
Like
and
Forrest
400
Gump.
meter. Yeah,
Run,
Forrest
Forrest.
Gump. Basically.
You know, when I was on the 4 train, this guy chased me for my sneakers. I became a long distance runner too. I ran home. I ran home and said, "Harry!" I was screaming my
Life is
brother's
like a box
name.
of chocolates.
And then they chased the guy. That was fun to watch. I was dying.
Gotta love your stories.
I told my mother, I ain't taking that train no more to school. You're gonna have to drive me to school. She says, better yet, we're gonna move right next to the school.
And you moved.
And we moved.
Wow.
It's a true story.
Oh
We
my
moved.
gosh. All right, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we've got Shane Farnsworth in the house. Bacons are still doing some fall decorating. Give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A, and we'll be right back.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. Whether you enjoy watching in the mornings or afternoons, you can now watch with your favorite merchandise. Choose from the Brooklyn Cafe t-shirts, ranging from sizes small to 3XL. Colors available include black, dark heather, and navy. Feeling chilly? Just check out our latest hoodie with over 9 colors to choose from. Sip on some Brooklyn Cafe coffee with Dawn and Freddie in a matching mug as seen on set. Brooklyn hats and special seasonal items are always popping up and available upon request. To purchase, you can visit our online store at brooklyncafe.tv/shop. Happy shopping!
With enough butter, anything is good. Tori Wells from Precious Treasure Gourmet Foods thinks so because she single-handedly updated and expanded butter's possibilities. From compound, savory, sweet, and spicy, her freshly made butters aim to please. I don't know about you, but I've never really seen butter this versatile before, and now so feasible. With online shopping, just visit PreciousTreasuresGourmetFoods.com because at Precious Treasures, Tori is working on the best artisan gourmet foods to every table. Remember, guys, true love is like butter. There's no substitute for the real thing.
Have you been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or through the negligence of another? The lawyers at Shane M. Farnsworth, PA have over 40 years of combined experience representing injured individuals and their families. Call us today at 561-272-8337 for a free case evaluation and the answers to your legal questions. Were you injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. Contact us now to learn about your options and to protect your rights.
Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
Amp Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock nonstop to promote over 500 shows and businesses with added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422.
Watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
This is what it was missing, is a wand.
Welcome back. What?
It was just
doesn't
missing
need
a
a
wand.
Stop adding to it. Okay, take it easy.
It looks nice though.
Yeah, here we
I like it a lot. Welcome back, everyone, to the Brooklyn Cafe on a rainy Tuesday afternoon.
This portion of the show is brought to you by
2020 the game.
Shane would like this game.
Would he?
Yep.
2020 to the game. You can get yours up at Palm Beach Outlet Mall, right behind the food court. You can also get it online at 2020-thegame. Order yours today. Also on Amazon, coming soon to Walmart. This is a fantastic game. We got to get video up. The Bacons were with us up at the event last week.
John won. Didn't you win?
You guys won a game, right?
I want a free game.
I heard they gave you the game because they were terrified of you.
Anthony was, and it was his birthday, so he said he gave it to me, and I slipped him a 10, so it was good.
You guys had a good time? I've got some
Yeah, we had a
puzzles
great
in the
time.
car.
I saw people playing the game up there.
And the puzzles, you just see them trying to put the puzzles together?
Forget
and all
about
that
it. Yeah,
stuff?
I'm gonna tell you, I would take that puzzle box and I would just throw it in the ocean. I hate puzzles. I don't got no patience for that. You guys like puzzles?
I do puzzles on my iPad.
What?
So you can move the
Yeah.
pieces around?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. But
You know,
something like
you-
it, like touching, feeling, moving them around.
No,
you're
it's
a very
a
scary-
real thing. You actually touch the pieces, and you can set it so that you can turn the pieces if you want. But but then you don't have to, because I used to have puzzles, and by the end of the day, I'd be like missing puzzles everywhere. The dog would take it, whatever. But on my iPad, I never lose a piece.
Now we cannot lose the pieces. How you like that?
I would lose my iPad.
Lose your brain.
Anyway, the game 2020. Don't miss it. Shane Farnsworth would love this game because this game never grows old. They changed the cards and the way you play it, and it has to do with the Republican and Democratic parties. And you got to win the
The
electoral
votes.
votes.
270 electoral votes.
And it has everything that happened in the last 2 years with the virus. So if you catch virus, you lose a turn, and backwards and forwards. It's like the never-ending game. This is like Monopoly gone crazy.
1 to 2 hours, so it's a whole lot of fun. But I'm excited that we've got Shane joining us. I've never in person met
Never
Shane
met him.
Farnsworth. Never met him, but I feel like I know him through his commercial. I feel like I know his face. But we should have
Well,
had
we've
him do
watched
the
his
whole
commercial
voice.
4,727 times.
I know, it's a great
To
commercial.
get it right.
Personal injury attorney located in Delray Beach. So let's send this over to Shane. You've known Shane for a few years.
I've produced shows for
Yes, I was working with Freddie on the Ask the Experts program. I was on there for I think about 1.5 years to 2 years. So that was a lot of fun with Steve, and it gave me some opportunities to meet you guys and some other people, and help promote my business.
And it's interesting because I always, of all the, he had other attorneys that have come and gone through the program, but this guy was different. And I used to ask Steve about you after you left, because personal injury is a different type of niche that you do. It's not the common deal where you get an attorney because somebody's suing you for something else. How did you get involved in personal injury?
Well, when I first got out of law school, I initially was doing other types of law. I had a friend who graduated with me who was working in the personal injury in the PIP field. So I started working with him, sort of learned the business through that way, and been doing it since. So I've been doing PI pretty much since about 1999, 2000. So my office is in Delray, but in the same spot. So we've been operating out of there, helping people who have been injured in accidents, and trying to get them compensated for the injuries that they suffer.
Increase in business during the virus or no?
I would say that in the beginning of the virus, no. I think there was a lot less traffic. So I did see sort of a decline the first, probably, we kind of started in, I guess, what was it, March of 2020 is when things started to really get bad and shut down. Through probably June or July, it was a bit slow, but after that, it's picked up. And we do things other than, I used to always tell Steve that personal injury is sort of an umbrella term. Primarily we do a lot of car accidents, but it includes other things as well, like slip and falls, dog bites. If you have your house gets damaged and you have a problem with your insurance company, we handle stuff like that as well. But it encompasses several things, but the car accidents are sort of the main thing that we work on.
Car accident.
Car accidents. But slip and falls, if you're out at a restaurant or at the grocery store, something falls on you. Do you do catastrophic cases as well, like with life care plans, or really significant, or do you mostly small?
Occasionally we have cases that are catastrophic like that, yes. We don't do medical malpractice always, we don't do like nursing home neglect. We kind of limit what we do to, like I said, the auto accidents, trucking accidents, motorcycle accidents. There's a million different kinds of accidents, the slip and falls, and stuff along those lines.
I-95 must be like the breeding ground for you, because my goodness gracious, with the construction and everything that's out there. I was driving the other day and there was some kind of metal object. It looked like a thing to turn screws, popped up, hit the front of the car and bounced over me and hit the car behind me. And she ended up in the side, and there was glass, and forget about it, it went nuts. I mean, there's so many things that go on I-95. It's like a breeding ground for car accidents.
Yeah, 95 is definitely a road you got to be careful on. There's a lot of action that takes place there, but just in general, even on the surface streets and driving locally in Florida, we have a lot of people here, a lot of traffic, especially this time of year. We start getting people coming from other places, increases the traffic. We have a lot of construction going on, so there's a lot of things that could be distracting. We have. I represent people who get hit on bicycles as well. That's, we have nice weather here, so you have runners, you have bicyclists, so pedestrians and bicyclists, we represent them. But there's, we all have to sort of pay attention to interact together. But on the highway, when you're traveling at a higher speed, that's especially something where you got to be careful. I do cases throughout the state of Florida, and 95 is bad, but I do cases in Central Florida as well, and I-4 is, I think, even worse than 95. But
really?
I think you're right. I-4 is crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I-4 is a really, really difficult place to drive. You gotta be careful running between Tampa and Orlando.
Now, I gotta ask a question. I've always wondered this. You know, you make a U-turn, right? The light is green, and you make a U-turn. And somebody's making a right-hand turn, because in Florida, right-hand turn on red is allowed. And the two of us meet and have an accident. Because the guy that's coming this way to the right, he opens up, I open up, and we meet in the middle lane. Because it's harder for me to stay tucked into the left-hand lane. You could tell this happened to me. And so I have to go at least into the middle lane to make the U-turn. Who's in the right there? The person making the right-hand turn with a stop with the red light, or me that has a green light to make the U-turn?
You know, that's a good question. I would say, you know, the person who has the green light making the U-turn has the right of way. If you have the stop light, you have to yield to the oncoming traffic. So if you pull out into that oncoming traffic, I would think the person making the right on red would be the one responsible for that accident.
I wish you were right. It happened to me. And the cop comes, they start measuring the turning radius of the car. I looked at him and says, "Are you insane?" He says, "No, Mrs. Santori, because it looks like you veered too much to the right, causing the accident of the guy." I says, "You gotta be." See, a guy like him is what I need.
Because you're supposed to turn to the inside lane.
But it's hard to make it on some U-turns, the inside turn. It's really, you can't make it that tight. So the cop told me, you know, it's one of those questions that nobody's right or wrong. In New York, a left-hand turn is illegal in a two-way lane, in a two-way street.
Well, you know, one of the things in Florida, when you're litigating a case, before you get to your damages, you got to prove liability. So, you know, that's something you have to deal with at trial. But, you know, even before you get to trial, a lot of times somebody comes in and we're first representing them, if there's a question, you may have to have discussions sometimes with the adjuster to try to explain why, you know, your client wasn't wrong and the other person was. Sometimes police reports, they're not necessarily always well written, well thought out. Sometimes they leave information off. We've had instances where we have to call the police department to have them amend the complaint, or not the complaint, the report, to make it more accurately reflect.
You can do that?
What happened. Yes. Well, they don't have to change it, but sometimes if they've left something off, you can show them that it was incorrect, they will make those adjustments.
That can make a big difference, because sometimes, you know, a cop wants to come and go and they give a bad report, and if you get hit by somebody that has no insurance in Florida, forget about New York, because if I tell you what happened to me that day, you won't believe it. What do you do if you have damage and everything else?
Well, it's important to understand that, number one, there's a lot of people in Florida that don't have insurance.
Yes, I know.
So, in addition to that, in the state of Florida, in order to drive legally, the only coverages you're required to carry are personal injury protection and property damage. Personal injury protection is if we're a no-fault state, so regardless of who causes the accident, the first $10,000 of your medical bills gets paid by your PIP coverage. Property damage pays if, for example, you run into somebody's fence or you hit somebody's car and you damage their car. That's property damage. So that doesn't cover you if you were injured by somebody else's negligence. So in that instance, you're hoping that the person has what's called bodily injury coverage. That's the insurance you buy, that if you're negligent and injure somebody else, it pays for those injuries. But if you have somebody with no insurance, they're clearly not going to have BI coverage. So that leaves you with probably the most important coverage people don't understand, which is uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage. It's an optional coverage. You can purchase it up to the limit of your bodily injury coverage. So if you have a PIP PD policy, so PIP and property damage, the basics that are legal, you can't buy UM. But if you have bodily injury coverage, you can buy up to the limits of your bodily injury. And what would happen is if an uninsured person or a person without bodily injury injures you, then your uninsured motorist coverage would kick in. It's also called uninsured, underinsured. So the other thing that happens is, say, for example, the person who hit you and injured you only has $10,000 in bodily injury coverage, and you have to have surgery from your accident. Well, clearly the $10,000 is insufficient to pay for your damages. Well, at that point, your uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage will kick in to cover the difference up to your policy limits. So I would say Unfortunately, a lot of times when people come to me, we have the uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage discussion because the person who hit them doesn't have bodily injury. So if you don't have uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage, you should check your coverage and look into getting that, because that's really the safest way to protect yourself against somebody who's uninsured or underinsured in the state of Florida.
Did you know this?
Yeah.
You did? And you don't tell me nothing?
Because when you call and you change your auto policy, there are people in Florida that don't have insurance, and heaven forbid something happens.
And like I know all of them.
Something happens, right? Someone's got to pay for it, right? Someone gets in a car accident, and like when Linda got hit that time.
Yeah, no insurance.
Exactly the point. But if she had, maybe she did, uninsured or underinsured
I
as
don't know.
part of her
I-
bodily injury,
I
then
don't know.
it would cover her expenses.
I don't know what she did. She didn't do.
I'm just
didn't-
using it as an example so you would understand.
I know it happened to me, and the guy had no insurance. The guy who hit me had no license, had no insurance, and left his ID at his house. The cops let him go. Meanwhile, my front end was like down the street. And they say, you made a left-hand turn. That's illegal. This is why I became an auxiliary up at the 3-4 in New York, because of this incident. I had an argument with two cops on the street. I said, you better get your sergeant down here. This is ridiculous. And I lost. Apparently, you can't make a left-hand turn. This happened in the Heights. I was going across Amsterdam Avenue. I got to go, there's one traffic this way and this way. So I have to cross the lane to make the left. And apparently, it's illegal to do that.
But there was no bodily injury thing. Like when your mother got
I
hurt.
got hurt.
When your mom got hurt, you
No,
tell
she
us all
fell
the
in the
time.
building, yeah.
She fell in the building. That would be a personal injury case.
But that one,
That would be, yeah.
that one was a big one.
Well, one thing that, in Florida especially, like I said, all you're required to have is property damage and PIP. So I've had numerous people come to me and say, I'll ask them, because one of the things I want to find out is, do you have uninsured motorist coverage in case the other person doesn't have BI or doesn't have enough? And I've had people tell me all the time, I have full coverage. And they have no idea what that means. All that means is that they have PIP and property damage, which means you have the bare minimum to legally drive. But if you don't understand the coverages and what it is that you're buying, you get trapped into that, because when you go buy insurance, what's the first thing you're really looking for? What's the price? Yeah.
Better price, right.
So what's the cheapest? The lowest coverage. So even though they're telling you, yes, you're covered legally to drive, that doesn't mean you have good insurance. So.
Just don't get hit.
Now with PIP, there's a statute of limitations to go to the doctor, right? You have to go
A year?
if you're 10 days.
Actually, it's 14. You got to
Okay.
treat within 14 to have coverage. And they changed it up a few years ago, I think in 2014. It's been a while. But essentially, you have to treat within 14 days to have PIP benefits. And although you pay for $10,000 in PIP benefits, they changed it that they cap it at $2,500 unless you're determined by a medical doctor to have what's called an emergency medical condition, which is kind of broadly termed. So a lot of times you'll be able to get that from a medical doctor. They'll find that you have it. But once you have an EMC designation, at that point you get the full $10,000 in coverage that you're actually paying for. But if you don't get that, they cut you off at $2,500. But yeah, if you don't treat within 14 days, then you don't get any PIP benefits at all.
And how does that affect you taking a case? As far as that, they need that 14-day treatment plan, and that's going to get, that $10,000 is going to get used in a blink of an eye. So what covers your cost, and do you need that medical explanation for you to actually go forward with the case?
Well, for me, what we do our cases on what's called a contingency fee basis, which means if we don't recover any money for you, we don't get paid anything. We get a percentage of what we collect, and generally it's 33 1/3% pre-suit, and then 40% after you file a lawsuit. But if you don't treat within the 14 days, what generally will happen is you'll end up using what's called a letter of protection, which a doctor will take. And what that is that in exchange for not charging you as you're coming in, they get paid from the proceeds of the settlement. So you probably can get coverage, but or get treatment. But the issue is, if you have your PIP benefits, that's going to help pay some of those bills, and that's going to end up putting more money in your pocket at the end of the case if you have insurance to pay the doctors, as opposed to paying it as a private pay out of your settlement.
Now, getting paid for your medical, when my mother fell, the building did not clean the ice in front of a drain that was in front of the building. And it was a real wacky winter. It was 80 degrees one day, and all the snow melted, and then it went to 30 degrees the next day. So there was an excuse as to why they didn't get to take the ice out and all that. But anyway, long story short of it, my mother, they offered her a settlement, and I went to see these attorneys down from a friend of mine, and they said, oh no, we're not going to settle this. It took 5 years, and she got the bills paid. I mean, my father had to pay them after 5 years, but she also got a settlement on something about her stress, about what she went through, pain and suffering. Because there were pictures. These guys came in, and they made posters the size of that painting, and they put it all over the courtroom. I was shocked. And the judge told the guys, it was nationwide, told them, if I were you, I would settle this right now. Because they didn't want to go to court. And it got settled right away. And she got pain and suffering and everything else. My mother thought, she said, Freddie, I feel guilty. She was feeling guilty of taking the money. But I was upset because they offered her $2,500 for a major surgery that took her 1.5 years just to stand up on her feet again. And it wasn't right what they did. They should have done the right thing.
Well, in the United States, when you get injured by somebody else, the redress that you have is to go to court and get paid for the damages that you suffer. And those include your medical bills. They include pain and suffering, economic damages, like if you have to miss work, you lose money from not being able to work, future medical bills. Those are all things that can be factored into how much you get in terms of a settlement for the case.
Now, do you take people's, like if somebody wanted to come see you and bring you their policy, because I'm going to tell you something, you got to be a defensive driver in Florida. And no disrespect to Florida, but they got some wackadoodles out here.
Yeah, we do.
They got people driving on top of you to get to the corner to get a pack of cigarettes. I mean, this is nuts. Do you take a policy, go over what's going on so they understand what they're getting themselves into on an everyday basis?
Well, when somebody comes in that's been involved in an accident.
Even before?
Well, I've talked to people before, I've told them, look, and usually, like I said, this conversation will come up because the person's involved in an accident, sometimes hurt really badly, and the other side either doesn't have any bodily injury coverage or very little. And we look and we see that there is no coverage. And I tell those people regularly, yes, when you get your insurance, when it renews, if you want me to look at your policy, I will look at it. Now, I wouldn't want 1 million people calling me a day to do their insurance policy for them. Yeah, so, but that is part of our evaluation. When somebody comes in, when we start a case, what happens is we send letters of representation to the insurance company for both our client and the person who caused the accident. And so what we're looking for, obviously, from the person who caused the accident is, do you have bodily injury coverage? And what we're looking for from our client is, number one, to make sure they're paying their PIP benefits properly. And number two, do they have uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage? Because a lot of that dictates, what you're able to do or not do. Unfortunately, a lot of times when you have that issue, it's somebody who's hurt badly, and there's really not much you can do. You can sue the person who was negligent, individually, but if you get a judgment, they could declare bankruptcy, and so it's not something that an attorney is going to do if there's no insurance coverage. So, that's why I said it's important to make sure you understand what the coverages are and what you have. And uninsured, underinsured motorists is a great thing to have. And I always try to tell people, like I said, you can't buy limits of higher than the bodily injury coverage. So if you have $50,000 in bodily injury coverage, you can only buy $50 in I try to tell everybody, try to get as much BI as you can and match that with the that you can afford. Reason being, the bodily injury is important to you as well, because if you're not paying attention one day and you are the one who causes the accident and you injure somebody, you don't want to end up not having insurance and getting sued and possibly having to go through a bankruptcy or something like that. So make sure that you have coverage if you're negligent, and make sure that you have the uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage to protect yourself against the uninsured people running around out there.
It's a scary thing, I mean, you guys travel all over Florida, and you got to use your car to get there. And it's a scary thing sometimes. I try to tell my sons, you know, you got to be defensive. Don't try to get there any faster. Leave a little early if that's the deal. Because I tell you, you're going to use your insurance when you least expect it. And, you know, God forbid, it's crazy out there. You know, I know somebody who was in a car accident. There were 4 people in the car. He lived. And all 3 people in his car died. And he was a mess, and then he had to go through the legalities of everything because everybody had a different family coming after him and everything else. And he wasn't properly insured either. And it becomes really difficult because you sort of tell yourself you want to drive because everybody loves to drive, but you want to do it carefully. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes at you in the wrong direction, which happened to me in Boston. I was in a cab. And a guy the cops were chasing came down the wrong street and he crashed into the cab. So I was a little drunk at the time. But anyway, so the guy goes, "Are you okay?" I says, "Do I got to pay for the cab?" But it's a true story. You don't know what you don't know. And you don't know when you least expect it, boom, something bad can happen.
True. You don't know how to prepare. You don't know what's coming. And then you don't know what to do. The first thing that happens, heaven forbid, you're in a car accident, and assuming you have minor injuries, then you have to play it out. Major injuries, someone has to contact you, Shane, correct?
Well, you know, I always tell everybody that when you're initially in a car accident, a lot of times your adrenaline's going. It's not a situation you're used to being in, and you may feel fine at that point, but a lot of times over the next day or two, people develop, you know, aches and pains. So I always tell everybody, you know, whether you think it's major or minor, you should get to a doctor and get checked out to see what's going on. It's important for a couple reasons. One, you want to make sure if you need help that you're getting it. And number 2, if you're going to be pursuing a personal injury action, you know, one of the things that insurance adjusters look for is gaps in treatment. So if you wait, you know, 2 weeks to go to the doctor after your accident, that gives an opportunity for the insurance company to say, well, if you were really hurt, why didn't you go to the hospital? Why didn't you go see a doctor right away? If you wait, how do we know you didn't fall down and get hurt doing something else? So it's important to get to the doctor as quickly as possible. Number 1, to make sure you're okay. And if you do need the help to get it, and that way you can, excuse me, you can document the injuries. So, and that's super important as the case progresses.
And they tell me when I'm in an auxiliary, the words that you say right after an accident are vital. How you act, what you say. And cops are really trained to listen to everything you say in that first 10 minutes when they get there. So you got to have your head screwed on right. Because if you say the wrong thing, it's going to come back to haunt you. You know, one of the first things you should do when you're in an accident is you call the cops, and then you call somebody like yourself and say, listen, this is what happened, depending on how bad the situation is. And again, I was trained by the 3-4, and we had a little pad book out, and we were taught to listen to everything the person tells you, because if they're in shock, they're going to tell you the truth. Oh, I'm so sorry I did this. They're going to come out, and they're going to tell you everything that there is, and they mark everything down. Now, that could work for you, it could work against you. You just have to keep your head screwed on in all the moments.
Let's take a commercial break.
Yes, I'm looking at that piece right over your shoulder.
Let's take a commercial break. When we come back,
you see the word?
We're going to talk to Shane Farnes a
little
bit more.
What's it say there?
Yes.
It says
love
life.
The life you live.
Is that what it says?
Yes.
Oh.
Love
I saw life.
The life
I was looking at USC Life. Okay.
There you go. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got Shane M. Farnsworth joining us, personal injury attorney located right in Delray Beach. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Proudly distilling out of West Palm Beach, Florida, Lost Harbor Spirits is a true treasure waiting to be discovered. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Welcome to Mini Donut World, where the donuts are hot, fresh, and delicious, made to order and customizable by you. Gourmet specialty flavors such as apple pie, French toast, campfire, and strawberry cheesecake are always popular. Looking to tailor your appetite? Build your own mini donuts. Choose from over 18 flavored donut bases, add on your icing flavor, and choose from over 15 toppings and drizzles. While kids enjoy our Design Your Own kits to take home, our 21 and over customers love our alcohol-infused donuts. Come visit Mini Donut World at 8763 Sterling Road in Cooper City. Have questions or want to place an order? Give us a call at 954-369-2301. We know you will love each bite of our deliciously distinctive mini donuts.
Attention Florida residents. Is constant water damage from the elements putting holes in your pipes and your wallet? We cut the cost when disaster strikes. You deserve to have your house be a home again. At Triumph, we get you paid the most for your insurance claims. Broken pipes, water damage, and mold? Triumph Consulting covers it all. Call our offices now to qualify for a free house inspection at 954-669-4935 or visit www.wegetYouPaid.com.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
At the Brooklyn Cafe, our subjects range from hot topics, feel-good stories, and back-in-the-day nostalgia. With guest personalities and business features, you just never know who you'll see on the show. With our brew crew on set, we always air live to inspire, educate, and create. Make it a date and have a day at the cafe. Join Don and Freddie every weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. and for lunch every weekday from 12 to 2. Amplify your voice. Call us at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at brooklyncafe.tv. Is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
Have you been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or through the negligence of another? The lawyers at Shane M. Farnsworth, PA, have over 40 years of combined experience representing injured individuals and their families. Call us today at 561-272-8337 for a free case evaluation and the answers to your legal questions. Were you injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. Contact us now to learn about your options and to protect your rights.
Watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
It's not. Yes, I got your noodles.
Oodles and noodles.
This portion of the show brought to you by Dignity Memorial.
Dignity Memorial, Southeast Florida. Now is definitely the time to put your pre-need plan in place with Dignity Memorial, Southeast Florida. Contact Wayne Henry at 561-654-9000. An incredible special offer has just been given to all of our viewers and listeners through the cafe and through that of WNN. 20% off all pre-need plans for funeral, cremations, cemetery, everything. 15% off if you want the Neptune Memorial Wreath, but it is an incredible deal. And you win 2 free tickets to go see a movie at Movies of Delray for the event on November 20th.
On November 20th. What's Wayne's number?
561-654-9000.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
That's pretty good. Give him a call. Listen, you ain't never going to get 20% off ever from Dignity or anybody else. So that's a good deal.
We should introduce Mr. Farnsworth to Wayne Henry.
We are. It's all in my head. It's all in the works.
Absolutely.
Because he's gonna have to learn how to smile and have a little fun. So we have a game called the mini donut game, and there are 2 boxes here, 1 and 2, and in here there could be a frog or there could be the keys to Dawn's car. It all depends on what you win. So you have to pick box 1 or 2, and whatever it is, you get to take it home.
All right, Freddie, I'm going to go with box number 1.
Okay, so let's look at box number 2, because we have to figure out what it is you did not win.
You make people crazy when you do this, by the way. Oh.
Why do I make them crazy?
Because you always show them what they didn't win.
That's right, and then I like to go slowly. So in box number 2, there was a box of popcorn and 2 free tickets to the Movies of Delray.
All right, well, that sounds pretty good.
You like going to the movies?
Sometimes, yes.
I may give you this anyway, because Dawn believes that if you come in second place, you should get a trophy too.
Just for playing.
Just for playing, so we may do that. But let's see what's in box number 1.
Uh-oh. You're making me nervous. Oh, that's a good one.
Well, look, he finally. He gets the little token.
Fairy.
The little fairy. And this is to remind you that you should always use sanitizer. So you get a little bottle of sanitizer. And as a good host, we always offer you a bag of our Brooklyn Cafe coffee. This is actually Don Pablo coffee, and we bag it and sell it. We've been doing this for
4 years.
4 years.
All right, that sounds good.
Congratulations.
Excellent.
So
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm gonna give you all the prizes.
Nice.
That way you can have a little fun, go to the movies, and when you go to the Movies of Delray or Lake Worth, Rochelle is the owner. Just tell her that we said hi, and we sent you this. So we'll give you this.
Will do.
More to come. You need him to have a little bit of fun.
That's right.
How long have you been in practice?
I've been practicing since 1998.
You've been here down here in Delray?
Yes, I actually opened my office in the same location I am now in October of '99. So,
And where is your office?
do you know where the IPIC Theater is in downtown Delray?
Yes.
So I'm actually nestled between the IPIC Theater and do you know where the Delray Marketplace is, the big, huge food court they just built?
Oh, okay.
All
I'm
right,
nestled
Atlantic.
between the IPIC and the Marketplace. So right there on Southeast 4th Avenue, 70 Southeast 4th Avenue.
Great location. So you've been there for a little bit.
I've been there for quite a while, yes.
You remember when the IPIC opened the first day?
I do. Remember when they were constructing it. So I've been there since the library was there. That was there for all those years.
Wow.
They tore that down and built the IPIC. And then where they built the Delray Marketplace, that used to be a parking lot that we had some of our parking in there that's now gone. But I got plenty of places to eat now, I guess.
Well, we opened up for the IPIC the first day they opened. We were the show in the lobby with the owner and everything else. He was supposed to be there 10 minutes. He ended up 2.5 hours later.
True that.
Still on the set. He even called and canceled his appointment to Atlanta where he was headed. Nice movie theater. I haven't been there in such a long time, 3 years, I think. Right, because COVID closed it down.
It's been a long time.
But I love going there. I remember when we went there and we shot the commercial. We knew everybody in the studio, remember?
Yep.
It's a whole lot of fun. So the IPIC is open, correct?
Yes, it is. So you can go there,
So
watch a movie, and you can stop by and say hello to me because I'm across
We
the
should
street.
stop
so.
by. I want to ask you, because I'm looking through your website, which is ShaneMFarnsworth.com, determining if you have a slip and fall case. What do people need to know or to think before they call you as far as a slip and fall case?
Well, if you have a slip and fall, just call me and we can go over the circumstances. Generally speaking, there has to be some sort of notice that the person could have been on. So, for example, those are things that we have to determine. If somebody just spilled a cup of water and it was 10 seconds before you fell, that could be a different situation than if the water was on the floor for 20 minutes and they had the opportunity to see it and clean it up. So there's certain things related to liability. It depends on, were you why were you at the property? Were you an invitee? Were you a trespasser? I mean, there's certain things and different laws that apply, regarding what the circumstances are related to your fall. So, if you call us, it's a free consultation, so it doesn't cost you anything. We'll, listen to what happened, review the facts, and let you know what we think the right course of action would be for you.
It's really funny because now that he says that, that I like to mop on Fridays.
Yes.
So from now on, everybody out. I got to throw everybody out, right? Because those marble floors, man, it's like ice skates. And I tell people, I don't want to be here till midnight mopping. Can you please leave? And they don't leave. They don't leave, Shannon. I'm like, there's the door. I open the door. Short of me kicking them out the door, they don't leave. And I want them up. I have to wait, though, right? Because if they slip and fall, it's on me.
It could be. You want to make sure that, it would help maybe if you have one of those signs that you can put up that says wet floors.
Slick. I have Slick. I have him with a sign that says stand there. He says the floor is wet, get out. But it doesn't work.
Well, just be careful. Now, if they know that you're mopping the floor and they're on notice of that, then they have a duty to be a little more careful as well. So that might help you out if they do.
People don't want to leave, man. They come in here, and I tell Dawn, show's over an hour ago. They're still here. They got to go. I got to mop.
You got to mop. You sound like me now. But there's so many intricacies. What's one of the most, I don't want to say fun, the most intriguing or stimulating intellectually with you doing this PI? What do you like the best about personal injury?
I like to meet new people that need help and to get them the help that they need. A lot of my business comes from referrals from former clients. So, we take pride in making sure that when they come in, they're treated properly, they get the attention that they need, and that, we're with them throughout the process. So if they have questions and they call, we're there to talk to them, let them know what's going on, and we're there to fight for them to get them the money that they deserve. And, we make sure that they're aware of that. And that, like I said, that's been, sometimes you get what you give. So we try to give to our clients, and on the bright side, a lot of times, the people that call us to come in with a new accident are either people that have been involved in a prior accident represented by us, or a family member or friend of somebody who has. And there's no higher compliment than to have somebody who you've worked for tell somebody else, hey, there's a million personal injury attorneys out there, but this is my guy, and he's the guy you got to see.
That's the key, is finding the niche in someone you trust, and it's not necessarily all the things, the billboards or the TVs or all of this. You want to find someone you trust.
You ever seen those TV commercials?
Sure.
Some of them are just hilarious.
They make a point, they make a statement, and Shane's commercial is on Comcast, that we're able to place that on the Delray Market Zone in those zip codes. But you want somebody you trust, and referrals are what's so important, right? You want successful cases to say, yeah, call Mr. Farnsworth and he will get the job done for you. He'll make you feel comfortable. He'll go through all the steps that you need to know that you are in good hands, and you don't have to worry about it.
And you want somebody who knows the law, who understands the ins and outs, the intricacies. He tells you to do something, and you do it. I always tell you, your attorney and accountant, those are the two most important people in your life, especially when you have a business. The game is changing.
And you mentioned my website. There's actually two ways to get there. You can go to ShaneMFarnsworth.com, or you can go to FarnsworthLaw.net. Either one will get you to the same website. We have a bunch of FAQ videos on there. So, for general information, some of the things we've talked about here today, but you can go watch our videos. There's a lot of information on the website that you can look at. We also have, when I was doing the Ask the Expert show, those are all posted to the website. So, there's a lot of good information there. So even if you don't need an attorney at this point, and hopefully you don't get involved in an accident, but if you want to learn a bit more about it, or see what my firm's about, feel free to visit us at ShaneMFarnsworth.com or FarnsworthLaw.net. And like I said, I think there's at least 100 videos that are on there. They go through a lot of different points of personal injury law and a few other aspects of different kinds of law as well. And it's a good place to start and sort of get acquainted with us.
Good place to start. How many attorneys do you have in your firm?
There's myself, and I have a friend I went to law school with who, prior to going to law school, she'd been a paralegal in Palm Beach County for a number of years, and she's semi-retired, so she's of counsel to my firm. So it's myself and Karen Gremens. So there's two of us, but most of the time I'm the one who's there. But Karen has been involved in personal injury law quite a bit longer than myself, because, like I said, she was a paralegal for personal injury attorneys before going to law school. She was kind of like our law school mom when we were in law school. Like I said, she's a bit older than us. So, but fantastic person, very knowledgeable, and a great asset to our firm.
Where'd you go to law school?
I went to St. Thomas University in North Miami.
So you're in Florida, so you know Florida law, well-versed in Florida law.
Yes, yep. The only state that I'm actually licensed is Florida, so this is what I do. I work in Florida. I've been in Florida for the most part. I grew up in upstate New York, a little bit south of Rochester, New York. I came down here to go to undergrad down in Miami. And following that, I stayed in the area and went to law school there. But I've lived in the southern end of Palm Beach County for the most part since, I guess, 1995. So I've been in Florida quite a bit, even though I'm originally from upstate New York.
So Rochester was a little chilly?
Well, I know we were talking before we came back on that the reason I actually did come here initially was to play baseball collegiately. So for baseball, Rochester is definitely a little on the chilly side.
Yes,
Miami was a little bit more conducive to playing baseball.
And he still plays?
You still play?
Yeah.
I still play, yes. For a number of years, we have the same group of guys. They've been together since 1994. I played with them the first time in 1999. And then I took about 10 years off, and I came back, and they were still together.
Wow.
And we keep getting older, but we still keep playing. So we played in, there's a league in Palm Beach County we played in for a number of years, and then it sort of got to the point where the new teams coming in were all guys in their 20s, and we were now guys in our 30s moving to our 40s, some in their 50s, and weren't really able to compete there anymore, but we still played tournaments. We played in a tournament last week in Fort Myers in the Roy Hobbs World Series. I'm playing in a tournament, MSBL tournament in West Palm a week after next. And then we always play a tournament in Fort Myers again in February. So we're able to still get in between the tournaments. We're able to still get in about the same number of games that we played when we were doing the regular league, but it's a little more condensed. And the tournaments are, they pair you out by age, so we're able to play people, essentially in our age group. So that definitely helps.
And this is baseball.
This is hardball, yes. Baseball,
hardball.
yes, absolutely.
And do you use aluminum bats or wood bats?
No, all wood bats.
Wood bats. It's the real deal.
It's the real deal. Got to send him up to Wycliffe Stiffs over in Wellington. Stickball.
He'll have fun with that. Now he's too young
for that.
When you get older,
Okay.
we have a stickball place you can hang out.
All right.
You'll probably run circles around them.
Hang out with the guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Some more questions or know any information, looking for a consultation, contact Mr. Farnsworth at Shane M. Farnsworth, PA. You can find him online, ShaneMFarnsworth.com.
Yeah, or farnsworthlaw.net, or you can call me at 561-272-8337.
Awesome. Such a pleasure to meet you in person.
Thank you. It was very nice to be here, and thank you for having me.
You got to
so
come
much.
up on a Friday when there's craziness all around us.
We'll introduce him to some of our friends.
And we have some friends for you to talk to. And, it's all about meeting and greeting and see what happens. And everybody will always take you somewhere in this place.
It sounds like fun. If you'll have me back, I'd be more than happy to come.
Absolutely. All right, let's wrap this up. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe. Come on down and see the new artists and artwork we have hanging here in the theater. Maybe you can win 2 free tickets to Movies of Delray or Movies of Lake
Or the
Worth.
keys to your car.
You never know. Contact Mini Donut World. Great holiday ideas, great for branding, great for gift giving, great for every which way. DIY, they do logo donuts as well. You can find them at minidonutworld.com. Tell them the Brooklyn Cafe Show sent you. And we'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to give them
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save her. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that gleams across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and we could